Yo, shalom. Welcome back, Babal family. It's your brother, Daliyahu Yasharar from Babal, back with another update. And I know, we all about travel, serving the diaspora, but I know a lot of people who've been following the channel. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Everybody interested in the news about Burkina Faso, what's happening over there in West Africa. And we're working hard to bring you guys updates with the situation. Right now, thankfully, all praise to Yahuwah, everything copacetic. But we have had some recent developments, from some more terrorist attacks to some updated negotiations and the diplomatic communication between Burkina Faso and the United Nations, etc., etc. It's a lot of things happening over there. So we're looking forward to bring you more updates in the next couple of days. We've been working hard behind the scenes to improve the production. But with that said, in the last video about the terrorist attack that happened, I've been reading the comments. Shout out to everybody that's commenting. Matter of fact, if you made this far in the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Comment, let us know what your thoughts is about the video once we finish getting to the details. But definitely interact. I appreciate everybody interacting. But in the last video about the terrorist attack, a lot of people was telling me like, oh, you got to fact check that, brother. That's not right. It's lies. And not that they were talking to me. Obviously, I was reacting to a video from Al Jazeera, I believe. So, the point is, we take our information and facts on the channel very seriously. Being that we on the continent, we want to report everything that's happening on the continent to all our brothers and sisters that's looking for us to do that. We want to report and reflect the information accurately. So with that said, I want to bring you guys an update of what happened, the United Nations response to Burkina Faso about those situation that happened over there and whatnot. So this is very important because not only does tell us that it's confirmed it happened. Obviously Al Jazeera reported it, reacted to it, and then now you have some correspondence that happened between Burkina Faso and the United Nations since that attack took place about a week ago, a little bit more than a week ago, right? So, but point is, this is one of the ways how we verify the news here. This is the press website for the United Nations. And in a recent press release, they actually responded to this incident and the situation, referenced Burkina Faso, and they made some statement that we're gonna get to right now. But just all of that to say is, this is an accurate source. That's why I want to bring it to you guys. That's what we really want to be doing here. Sometimes we're gonna react to other channels and curate some news for you guys. But a lot of times, what we want to try to do is find the source and really bring you guys that. So you guys, my family in the United States, in the UK, everybody who listens abroad, who want to know what's happening with the continent, we gonna make sure we get factual information, and then we can also again curate more news. So let's check this out, family. This is the latest. It's a daily press briefing by the office of the spokesperson for the Secretary General. So as you can see, this was released August 27, 2024. About a week ago, right? So, I'm gonna just read the first part. So it says, just an update on the Secretary General, who has left Tonga and is now on his way to Dili in East Timor, where he will take part in events marking the 25th anniversary of the national consultation. Yesterday afternoon, you will have seen that he issued a global warning on rising sea levels in the joint press conference with the World Meteorological Secretary General, Professor Celeste Salo. So the point is, first of all, we can see this United Nations press briefing is going to get to Burkina Faso, but what we know that this is a United Nations press briefing. So they talking about a lot of things. They talking about mpox in here. They talking about, again, these emerging markets, what's happening in Africa, and obviously they talking about global warming, everything. So this is an interesting press briefing. Maybe we may bring this to you guys more often, just to get a glimpse of again, world news and see what's happening. The United Nations, while it may not be the most agreed with, or how can I say it, most trusted source, they are an authoritative source. Like, they are the mouthpiece for the nations right now. So no matter how much we want to trust it or not, it's the most authoritative source we have. So again, let me just read this top part, the introduction, then we're gonna jump down to Burkina Faso, right? So he said this. He talked to this meteorological Secretary General, Professor Celeste Salo, to launch his technical brief on sea level rise, as well as WMO's report on the state of climate in the Southwest Pacific. Secretary General said the sea is taking the heat. Literally, global average sea levels are rising to an unprecedented rate, and the ocean is overflowing. Really? Again, that's what I'm saying. We know we can't trust everything these people saying, and all that overflowing, global population, ocean rising stuff. Family, excuse me for that, but it's more of a reason why we need to make our way back to the continent, because all this stuff affecting the nations that, again, the Most High put his he put judgment on, and it's gonna be right. And we know that's why we look at it from a biblical perspective, because we know all these things are gonna be in the end. But let me get to the point. I'm trying to get to Burkina Faso. I want to just open this up. Before I just skip down into this document, I want to at least skim to the top a little bit. All right. So they're talking about rising sea levels right now. So global average sea levels is rising at an unprecedented rate. The ocean overflowing. The reason is clear. He said greenhouse gases overwhelmingly generated by burning fossil fuels are cooking our planet all of a sudden. But it happened in 10 billion. Y'all said the Earth been around a billion years, but it's never happened. Okay. The Secretary General also took part in a dialogue with the Pacific Island Forum leaders. He met with civil society and women representatives and visited a community which was impacted by a tsunami triggered by volcanic eruptions in 2022. Cool. So United Nations doing anything. This is the press briefing from a week ago that talked about everything. You see, just looking at some of the topics they talked about occupied Palestinian territory, like this news Babal. Obviously, we again, biblical Hebraic concept. We feel a certain type of way about what's happening in the land. We know prophecy, talk about all that stuff, but nothing short of genocide right now, with the people who claiming to be the Most High people straight killing innocent people. So a lot going on. The United Nations briefing touch on that. That's not this video. It's talking about Gaza polio vaccine. You know, the people who over there who helpless, defenseless, they calling these people immigrants in their own land. They bombing the people. People ain't got no resources. They bombing hospitals and schools. It was another bombing just happened today. Really, this is another global news update. They continuing to bomb schools and villages of defenseless people. That's crazy. But now they also, what I want to call it, like, I don't want to say euthanasia, but they like, what they call it, serenading the people. They injecting the people. They trying to give the people some type of vaccine. We'll see what happens. So again, this United Nations briefing, official briefing, press.un.org, right? It's talking about what happened in Sudan. So they definitely touching on Africa. Again, that's not this video. I don't want to bore you guys with that. But Burkina Faso. Now let's listen to what they have to say about Burkina Faso. I hope you guys pay attention. Hope you can see clearly. It says, turning to Burkina Faso, I can tell you that the Secretary General strongly condemns the terrorist attack perpetrated on August 24th in Barcelona in central Burkina Faso. He extends his condolences to the families of the victims and the people of Burkina Faso and wishes a prompt recovery to those injured. So what are they saying? They're saying something, but are they really saying anything? They're saying, we sorry, we heard about what happened. We sorry about that. But again, we know that, again, some of these developed nations, developed countries that's a part of the United Nations probably have a hand in this, but they are acknowledging it. And that's what we want to point out. Because some people, again, people were saying that it didn't happen. That's the last thing we want to be doing here, is reporting false news. So we definitely want to make sure we got our facts right. Again, this is a big deal. Not to say that I felt any type of way personally, but like I talked about in the last video, this is a big deal for media in Africa, because media is coming up in Africa. Africa, the 54 countries, right, all taking back a piece of their sovereignty, like Burkina Faso and the Sahel states. They doing their own, they plan on starting their own web TV platform, whatever that may be. But the point is, it's a big disinformation campaign going on with Africa and the attacks against these governments, right? So it's very important that if we're going to report on this stuff, we want to make sure it's factual 100%. So I definitely want to make sure I'm doing my journalistic diligence, right, to the viewers and making sure we talk about facts. So the United Nations they acknowledging this, but they're not really saying nothing but sorry, right? So continuing on, it reads, the Secretary General expresses his solidarity with the transition authorities in their fight against terrorism and calls on them to ensure that those responsible for the despicable acts are held to account. So we're going to talk more about that. Again, it's been some attempts on the President Ibrahim Traore's life. Again, some not serious attempts, like he ducked bullets and nothing like that, but they have been finding some traitors in the ranks and just some moles here and there. So we want to talk about that. So stay tuned. Again, if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe. We on the continent of Africa. We in East Africa. We offering the relocation services to the diaspora, doing anything we can to help our family relocate smoothly. You know, I've been expatriating, moving around the world living in different countries for the last 10 years. So I know the challenges that come with it. I know how it is moving with your whole family, but we very much need to start considering these things and moving out of harm's way if we in these developed nations. So continuing on, family, we see they still talking about Burkina Faso in this United Nations press report, right? That just happened on last week, Friday. And they say, and just on the humanitarian front, our humanitarian colleagues tell us that the severe humanitarian crisis that prevailed in Barcelona even before this weekend's terrible attacks is pretty horrific. Like I explained in that last video, the country is still at war. You know, much as some people don't want to talk about that, I don't want to say it's at war, but there's still they still trying to gain 100% control. Like they say, some terrorists and Islamic ISIL, Al-Qaeda terrorists, they got a foothold in a certain part of the country. Obviously, the transitional government has the capital city. They have, you know, they really controlling the country, but it's still some insurgencies around. So it's creating a humanitarian crisis. You know, it's a lot of people moving around from other countries and immigrants and refugees, which you got disguised with terrorist groups and stuff. So it's a lot going on over there. And just from the sidelines, we able to see what's happening again amongst all the disinformation as well. So we just really got to be discerning. So listen, what the United Nations is saying. According to local officials, at least 90,000 displaced people are living in Barcelona as of last year. So they saying that situation been going on. These families had sought refuge there from insecurity in surrounding areas, and their arrival placed an additional strain on local services and supplies. And again, in Africa, we know that these countries, these governments already strapped for resources. So we're adding the instability with changing governments and not like that was a bad thing, but just having to take back power from the colonial powers and them leaving some things undone. You know, it's always going to create some situations. So all of the provinces where Barcelona is located is facing acute hunger, phase 3 IPC, during its recent lean season. Our humanitarian colleagues tell us that insecurity in surrounding areas has also made it much more difficult to provide aid in Barcelona. Since 2022, access to the area for aid agencies has mostly been limited to helicopter transport. So there you have it, family. That's the situation of what's happening in Burkina Faso at the moment, right? Not even at the moment, because this development is happening every day. But that was the latest press brief and press relief by the United Nations, issuing their apology, they condolences to Burkina Faso for the terrorist attack, and they just saying that basically your region is unstable. So what do you want us to do about it? Like we talked about in the video, anytime we have nation states like we do in the Sahel that have taken back their own sovereignty, when they have to deal with these outside threats, basically the other neighboring countries like you on your own. So we're gonna see how this continue to develop. We know that The government of Ibrahim Traore is very strong, very smart. They've been making all the right moves. Obviously, they had to deal with some unfortunate situations, but it is what it is. So it's your brother Daliyahu Yasharal bringing you guys the latest, what's happening here on the ground, on the continent of Africa. We're in the motherland. If you made it this far, like the video, share it with a friend who wants to stay updated with the news. Subscribe, and remember, we offer strategic relocation consultations. We can help you prioritize, plan, strategize about where you want to move, when the best time to move, how to move, step-by-step action plan, all that come with the consultation. So consider that. Consider reaching out, man, trying to make a plan for your future. And you can invest in the country without being here too. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about having family on both sides. You know, that's what a lot of local Africans do. You know, when they go back to they go to developed countries, they make their money, they send the money back, and you know, they building while they work. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of ways to leverage your situation. It's definitely solutions out here, but we have to explore it. I'm your brother, Daliyahu Yasharal. We here to help. Shalom, shalom. See you guys in the next video. Peace.